Hello everyone. Now we will discuss the topic friction. Now what is actually the friction? Friction is just a opposing force which is produced due to the applied force. Now we will see what are the terms related to friction. Now first of all we should know what is the friction. When a body slides over the another body, a force is exerted at the surface of contact by the stationary body on the moving body. This resisting force is called force of friction. It acts in the direction opposite to the direction of motion. For example, this blue color body is there. It is being pushed by the external force in the right side direction, and its motion is in the right side direction, and it is being placed on a surface, horizontal surface. So a friction force will be introduced due to this external applied force in the direction opposite, means towards the left side. Now if I talk about the important point related to the friction, first of all you should know it is the force exerted at the surface of contact only, means if there is no contact in between these two surfaces, then there will be no friction here at this place and at this place. But in between these areas where the contact is there, then we have the force of friction in this area. Now it is the force produced by the stationary body on the moving body. So it will be the friction produced by this surface, then it always act in the direction opposite to the direction of motion. This rule may have few limitations, like I have shown you one diagram. Now this person has to move in this direction. Now this is the direction of motion, but the friction will also be in the same direction. How it happens? If you analyze this force system, this person is applying the force in backward direction. So the application of force is in backward direction. No doubt its movement is in horizontal direction. Then the friction force will be opposite to the applied force. Now we will see the characteristics of friction. Now let's say this object is placed on a horizontal surface and this person want to push the object in this direction. This is the direction of applied force. It will have a weight downward direction and its friction will be opposite to the applied force. It will also have a normal reaction in upward direction, just opposite to the weight of the object between all these forces. Then I say if horizontal is the direction of applied force and vertical is the value of friction, then let's assume this person is applying 5 Newton force. The same 5 Newton friction force will be generated, which will be balanced by the friction force. 10 Newton force again balanced by the 10 Newton force. 15, it will again produce 15 Newton. So the applied force is balanced by the force of friction. The same force of friction is get produced, but there is a limit value after which this object will start moving, and that maximum friction force is known as limiting friction. So in the graph you can see from this 0 to this point, it is the range where the applied force is being balanced by the frictional force. But after that this friction force will get reduced to some extent and then the object will be in motion. This range is known as static and this is known as kinetic friction or dynamic friction. We will discuss it in the coming point. Now what we observe, or what are the things which we get from these phenomena, we will see. When the object is at rest, the applied force and friction forces are balanced. Like from this point to this point, it is get balanced by the friction force. Friction force increases in direct proportional to the applied force, like it is shown by 0 to 1 and known as static friction. Means from this 0 to this 1, this is the range of static friction. Beyond point 1, friction does not increase and block is set into motion. As I have told you, after this point, this is known as limiting friction, and after this the object is in motion now. At point 1 the maximum friction is there and it is known as limiting friction. When the motion of block starts, friction drops to somewhat lower value known as kinetic friction. So this range from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, we can say this is a range when the object is in motion and it is known as kinetic friction. Now we will discuss about the nature of friction. First is dry friction. It is just the classification of frictions, we can say. Dry friction mainly act in the case of sliding friction and rolling friction. This is the sliding friction. There are micro grooves, or we can say crust, troughs or uneven surface is there at micro level in rolling and in sliding friction both. So due to these crust and troughs, the opposing forces get produced. Next is the fluid friction. Fluid friction acts only in the case of fluids or liquids, we can say. We know that all the liquids, they have the laminar flow. So why the laminar? What is the laminar? Laminar is the word which is derived from lamina. Lamina means the plane sheets, the planes. When the fluid moves, it move in, or it slide in the form of layers or laminas. So that is why it is known as laminar flow. The friction between these laminas is known as fluid friction. Then the static friction, as I have told you in the graph also, if this person is trying to push the this almirah, this box, then due to the applied push there will be a force of friction in opposite direction, and up to that point the object is not get started moving. That point, up to that point, it is known as static friction. And dynamic friction, when the objects start moving, it is just the case when a vehicle is moving, the friction between tire and road, that is the example of dynamic friction. Discuss about the laws of solid friction. Friction acts tangentially to the surface in contact and in opposite direction to the motion. Friction force is maximum at the instant of start of motion. The magnitude of limiting friction bears a constant ratio to the normal reaction between the mating surfaces, and limiting friction is independent of area and shape of the contact surface. Limiting friction depends upon the nature of the surfaces in contact. At low velocities between the sliding surfaces, the friction force is practically independent of velocity. So you should know all these things just for the few theoretical questions. Now we will see the coefficient of friction. Let's say this object is placed on a horizontal surface and this person is trying to pull the object in this direction, and we know that the friction force will be produced in the opposite direction. This object will have a weight in downward direction, and same normal reaction will be produced in the opposite vertical direction, upward. Then the friction force F depends on the irregular surfaces between the contact areas, and mathematically we can say F is directly proportional to R. Friction force is directly proportional to the normal reaction. So here I am writing N or R as the normal reaction. If we remove constant of proportionality, we use mu, and we can say from this mu is equal to F by R, and this mu is known as coefficient of friction. The ratio of friction force to the normal reaction between the surfaces is called coefficient of friction and denoted as mu. Now let's see the total reaction. Now what are the various forces acting on an object? First is weight acting downward, normal reaction vertically opposite to the weight, frictional force opposite to the direction of applied force, and same the applied force. Now the forces normal reaction and friction act at right angle to each other, and the resultant of both is equals to S is equal to R square plus F square. I'll show it with a graph. Now these are the various forces: normal reaction upward, weight downward, applied force P in this side, and friction force in this side. Now this is the total reaction. So what is the total reaction? If I say there are the two forces are normal reaction and friction force, and we have this system of forces, and we want to find out the resultant of these two forces only. So the resultant will be somewhere in between these, like we have used the parallelogram theorem. So this S is the total reaction, that is equal to under root of R square plus F square, means under root of normal reaction force plus frictional force. Now we will solve this numerical. It is just based on the concept which we have studied till now. A block of mass 25 kg is at rest on a horizontal surface. To slide the block, force P is being applied, and the coefficient of static and dynamic friction between them is 0.36 and 0.3. Find the force for each value of P. Applied force is 20, 40, 60, 80 and 90 Newton. Now we have to find out the frictional force. Now in this question, if you see, the applied forces are given, but we have to find out the corresponding frictional force. Mass is given in kg, so we have to convert this mass into weight always, because we have all the formulas which are related to the forces. So mass we have to convert into weight, that is the vertical force. Then there are two values of coefficient of friction, static and dynamic. It means we need to know about a point before which the object is in stationary position and after which the object is in motion, means we have to find out the value of limiting friction, because below limiting friction the object is in static condition, so we apply the static coefficient of friction, static. Then after the limiting friction there will be the dynamic force, so we have to apply the dynamic coefficient of friction. So we will see weight of block is given 25 kg, so we convert it into Newton by multiplying it 9.81, so we are getting 245.25 Newton, and the normal reaction will be exactly opposite to the weight. Now limiting value of force of friction, mu is equal to F by R, we know this formula, and limiting friction F is equal to mu into R. Whenever we have to find out the limiting friction, we will find out using this formula. We know the value of static friction 0.36, we multiply it with our normal reaction and we get the value of limiting friction, that is 88.3 Newton. Now means when we apply the 20 Newton force, it is just balanced by the 20 Newton of friction force. We have no need to calculate this. 40 Newton force, applied force, 40 Newton frictional force, 60, and up to this point 88.3, the applied force will be balanced by the frictional force. So it means after that when we apply the 90 Newton force, then the object will be in motion, and then we have to apply the dynamic friction. So we can say that like this: up to 88.3 same static friction, but after that when we apply 90 Newton force, we have to again we have multiplied the normal reaction with the dynamic friction coefficient, then we get this value of frictional force. Now we will see one more question. A body weighing 300 Newton is resting on a table. A pull of 100 Newton is applied at an angle of 15 degree with the horizontal surface, cause the body to slide. Make the calculation for the normal reaction and coefficient of friction. I have solved this numerical. You can watch that video and it will be helpful for you to understand this. Now we will discuss about the angle of friction. The definition says that angle which the resultant of normal reaction and limiting force of friction makes with the normal reaction. In this diagram you can see the normal reaction is in vertical direction, frictional force is in horizontal direction, and this is the total reaction. If you remember that part of video, this is total reaction. Now the angle between the total reaction and normal reaction, this angle is known as angle of friction and it is denoted by phi. Now we know that we represent R as the normal reaction, F as the limiting force of friction, so total reaction is under root of R square plus F square. Then tan of this phi is equal to F by R. We have no need to derive this, just we can remember tan of phi, this is equal to F by R and it is known as angle of friction. And in this way we can say as mu is equal to F by R, we can replace it, so we can directly say tan phi will be equal to mu. We can say that tan of angle of friction is equal to coefficient of friction. Now the next is angle of repose. Now to understand this I want to discuss one diagram. Just try to understand. Let's say this object is placed on a horizontal surface. In the diagram I am showing it in an inclined direction. Let's say this is a horizontal surface and this object is being placed on the horizontal surface. We start lifting the horizontal surface and start giving an angle alpha. When we give 5 degree, 10 degree, 20 degree, up to a certain value, this object, this body will not slide downward, it will not slip down, but after a value it will slip down. So that angle up to which it will be in the same condition of equilibrium or static condition, that angle is known as angle of repose. So you can see the definition: angle of repose is equal to phi, or we can say the angle of repose is equal to the angle of friction